WMAL, making sense of the news. Live from the Home Paramount Pest Control Studios. Home Paramount, the leader in pest control since 1939.
And we want to touch base with Sean Spicer as he's heading to the White House today for a celebratory media row on the 100th day of the Trump presidency, or right up till the 100th day. Quickly, though, let's listen to Cut 20. This is from Saturday night White House Correspondents' dinner.
But being truth tellers also means telling the truth about ourselves. We, myself included, missed a lot of this story.
That's Alex Thompson of Axios as he received an award, Sean Spicer. He got an award for covering the story that he just admitted he missed. What? Is there such a thing as the White House Correspondents Association at this point?
It's pretty pathetic what it's become. But I thought that the beautiful part about that admission, right, is I miss a fly ball or I miss a bus, right? You see it and you miss it. And I just, for a bunch of people who use words for a living, I kept thinking about how he chose to frame this, because I thought to myself, you didn't miss it. You ignored it. There's a difference. Mm-hmm. And they don't want to be honest about this. That's the difference. They didn't miss it. It wasn't like when you miss a flight going out of Reagan. Like, this is literally you right. These are people who use words for a living. And the bottom line is that they ignored it. They knew it was happening, and they chose to pretend it. He then goes on in that same speech to blame the staff.
That's right.
As if they didn't see it themselves. It was them that, through their eyes, they saw what was going on. And it was just, I got a kick out of that whole dinner, because it just, to me, what made this year different wasn't that the president wasn't there, which he wasn't, but it was that no other Republicans were there of note. And then secondly, there was just a huge, amazing alternative group of events that celebrated people who actually want to make content. And, there's an event with Steve Bannon's team. There was an event at Substack. And I actually enjoyed going to events with content creators and other people to have fun, to talk about how we're covering stuff, and not having to pretend that we actually think any of these people are real journalists doing their job.
Well, the other thing that was really sort of heartening for me is when you heard Alex Thompson saying that stuff, which if you're not listening critically, you could say, oh, look, it's so nice, he's admitting wrongdoing. But you're absolutely right. He really sort of passed it off to the White House, saying the White House and these staffers are guilty of deception. But what I really thought was interesting is after he said it, there was an applause. It was sort of an applause line, and it was that
was a Gulf applause. That was
exactly. Yes,
I think that was the way staff.
Yes, exactly. It was so weak. It was so scattered. And they shot to April Ryan, who then goes in for alcohol. She immediately grabs her drink, and it just tells you everything you need to know. They're never going to change, right, Sean?
Oh, and that's why I love the weekend, though, because they finally hit rock bottom, right? To sit there and see Eugene Daniels, who had invited Amber Ruffin, that Trump-hating comedian, and then pretended somehow he had nothing to do with the decision. He's like, after the board reached a decision, I'm like, no, you made a decision. You realized how dumb it was, and you. So I think, like, what I loved, I think that was the last White House Correspondents' dinner as we know it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I hope so. Sean Spicer is our guest. Sean, I also want to take a reflection now on the first 100 days of the Trump presidency. You were part of the first 100 days of the first Trump presidency, and you guys were under fire from before day one with all of the, Russian collusion BS and the Comey stuff and the investigations. Right. There is a stark difference here on how Trump has approached this one. Do you think those 4 years off helped him?
Oh, my God, yeah. I think, in fact, it's interesting. I've got a column in my newsletter that's coming out tomorrow where I address this very point, because when you have a sequential presidency, which, we won't have had every one except once in our history, you just keep going on autopilot, same staff, same policy. When you have actually time to think, and you think about it in any way, like, so, sometimes people take sabbaticals. Sometimes, if you're a team, you get a couple of days off between games. When you have time to reflect, you think about all of the components that go into doing something well or not. And as I've said, there are three components: the people, the policy, and the process. And he learned who to surround himself with, who not to surround himself with, the policies to enact, and the processes by which to get them done. And those are stark differences. And I think because there was 4 years, not just for him, but for his team to reflect, that's what was, in my opinion, just consequential.
Any warning signs here for the next 100 days or for the rest of the time? It has been, they've gone at breakneck speed. What sort of has been set up here that makes you a little concerned? Or if you were giving the president advice, I understand you're going to be at the White House today for the Sean Spicer show with some special programming for the 100 days. I mean, what do you think could potentially be some pitfalls going forward?
So you put your finger on it, Larry. There's two things. I think the speed, sometimes you forget. So I have this list that I will say, I wish I could say I did the research, but so my old colleagues at the White House shared it with me. And you look at the list. I'm going to put it in my newsletter tomorrow of all the things that have happened. And you realize sometimes you need to pause. It's like, you're a wine snob. You have to take you have to pop the cork off of the box that you're drinking.
Let it breathe.
And
up the box.
Let it breathe, right? Yeah, I don't. Do you? I was going to ask that. Do you pop the cork off of a box, or do you just cut it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But then I just do I make the sound with my finger in the lid. Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
The nicest franze for you, my friend.
You know my spade.
So in any case, I think that like I would say sometimes you need to just let some things breathe. That when you're going at this speed, slow down a little, make sure people digest it, because there is a lot. And I was shocked when I read the list. I mean, it goes on like 7 pages.
Yeah.
And you start going, wow, I forgot you did this. I forgot you did this. So one, stop to make sure that people digest it, because for the average person who's, hustling all day long, maybe working 2 jobs, they don't have time to digest some of this news because they've got other priorities in life. And I think reminding them of this, but I was sort of, as I read down the list, and I'll actually cover it tonight on the show. And it's just, you forget some of the things. It's just the speed has been that much of a factor.
Sean Spicer, we got to leave it there, but I appreciate you not being mean to me and not attacking me personally.
No. Well, I think, look, last night, you're not going to talk about the snub, are you? The snub.
There's no snub.
WMAL
We missed you at the Berkshire last night, that's for sure.
No, that's like going to my house. But no, there was no snub. Luckily, Mark Levin and I had a very nice dinner at Bonchon. We had hot wings. But I was thinking it was so you come to Alexandria.
Yeah.
You're just blocks away and nothing. No, you know what? And my good friend Bill Hess, I got to be honest with you, I thought better of everyone. No VIP invite, no car service, nothing.
Sean,
and yet, my neighbor Mercedes, she gets to go. What? Yeah. This is after
Sean,
all
we would have
Sean,
loved to have had
I'm
you
also
there.
a neighbor.
Yeah,
I didn't get car service.
You know what? Okay, but I didn't get it. And you know what? I felt like? I'll just be honest. I felt like I was locked in the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Center without my GarageDoor.com to get me out.
Well, we've
all
been there. We would have loved to have had you, but we didn't have any seats. It was sold out in 2 weeks. Sean. So that's what happens.
I heard that. Now, what I had told my sources at the Birchmere said that they were cleaning and they had removed many of the seats and the tables.
You heard your sauces are very, very wrong, but they did send you their best, and maybe we'll see you soon at the Birchmere for some other event that.
If Yacht Rock comes back after you just fanboyed them, I mean, who knows? All right.
It is.
All right.
Go back to your podcast now.